Hi all. Hope all my subscribers are doing good. So due to some personal reason, I couldn't able to make the video for last 1.5 months. So I'm extremely sorry for that. So now I have started a exciting topic today, that is the interview related question. So currently, all of you know that there are a couple of openings are present in all the MNC. So if you want to switch the jobs, you can check this video, which will be really helpful. Whoever is working on the full stack developer or whoever is working on the backend developer called Java, Advanced Java, Spring Boot architecture. So in our first video, what I will suggest with you, so I will share some Java 8 related interview questions for the experience profile. But the freshers also can see this video because there are some basic questions also I have covered in this video. Let's see what are the interview related question I have covered on today's. So all of you know that the Hashmap is one of the important feature of the collection framework, that is the Java collection framework. So all of you know that how the hash map internally works. Whenever we are adding any key value pair into the hash map internally, it's called the equals method, and in the equals method, and then it will call the particular hash code method in the equals method, whether it is checking the key value is equals or not, and then it is identifying the hash code, and they are keeping the value on the based on the hash code itself. So this is the basic overviews of how the hash map internally works and all. But there are some kind of tricky question some interviewer maybe asked during the interview session, and this is one of the important question nowadays. So whenever you are appearing in any interview, so they should have this kind of questions over there. So how to sort hash map by value? All of you know that the hash map, we can sort by key, we can sort by value. Sort by key is a very basic structure. So if you are using tree set, so you can easily sort the hash map by key, because tree set is having insertion order, and it doesn't allow any null value as well as a duplicate value. So that's why if you want to sort the hash map by key, you can using the tree set. You can put the hash map, and then you can first you can put create a hash map, then put the hash map into the tree set, and then you will get the value. You will sort the hash map by using key. But if you want to sort the hash map by using value, there are two way you can do it. The first way is the comparator interface. So first, before jumping into the comparator interface, so I'm giving you the overview what is the comparator and what is the comparable interface in the collection framework. So in the collection framework, there are two kind of interfaces are there where you are doing the sorting mechanism. So one is the comparable and another is the comparator. So comparable is basically doing the single sorting sequence. Let's say for giving an example, the employee table. In that employee table, we have employee ID, employee name, employee address, department designation. Lot of columns will be there. If you want to sort by employee ID, only one column, then you can use the comparable interface, because comparable is basically using for the single sorting sequence. But there is one disadvantage over there. The disadvantage is it affects the original class. So that's why without affecting the original class, we can use the comparator. So it's a more easiest way to do that one. So in that, that's a basic difference between the comparable and comparator. So comparable is basically the single sorting sequence. Comparator is basically for the multiple sorting sequence. So you can sort by using ID, you can sort by using name, you can sort by using any field. First, second thing is comparable is affecting the main class, but comparative doesn't affect the main class. The second difference. Third difference is whenever you are doing the comparable, in, in the comparable we used to call the compare to method. But whenever you are doing the comparator, you are doing using the comparator interface, it will call the compare method. So these are kind of important difference between the comparable and comparative interface, and please note it down. It is also one kind of important interview question. So most of the interviewer will ask during the interview session. So apart from the comparator interface, there is another important feature is that Java 8. So I hope all of you aware of the Java 8 feature, because currently in all the application are running by the Java 8. So as the Java 8, there are a lot of advantages are there. I have already given one video for the Java 8, all the function, terminal function and intermediate function. So I can give the link in my description for the Java 8 video, so you can see over there itself. So in the Java 8, there are why you are using the Java 8, because the code will be less, the performance will be first, the effort will be less. So let's see how it will work using the comparator. So before jumping into the here, I'm going giving the overview of that. So let me open the Eclipse first. Yeah. Yeah. So just a moment, let me do small modification over there. Yeah. So here you can see like that, in my class itself I have created the hash map, and I am hash map is consist of string and integer value, the two data type. So key value is string and the value is integer. So I'm putting all the data into the hash map, maths, blah blah blah, all the data I have put it over there. Now I want to sort the hash map by using value, and I am using the comparator interface. So if you go to the particular method implementation, you can see like that. So whenever you are trying to sort hash map by value using the comparator interface, you have to keep couple of things in your mind. First, we need to create a hash map, and we need to put the a value into the hash map. Then we need to create a list, and we need to pass the hash map value over there. Why? Because whenever you are doing the sorting mechanism, collections.sort, which is having the sorting mechanism for the collection framework, it is accepting the list value, not the hash map value. That's why what you need to do, you need to convert first hash map into the list. So here you can see I am giving converting hash map into list, and whenever you are converting hash map into the list, you should give like this map dot entry, and inside that you should give the data type of the particular hash map. So and here you can pass hm dot entry set. Why? Because so whenever you are converting hash map into the list, you should pass the hash map by using the entry set value. So in the entry set value, basically it will, so if you go to the open implementation of the entry set, so you can see, so it is basically creating a linked hash map over there. So then what we need to do, we need to convert hash map into the list, because as the collection dot sort is accepting the list value, not the hash map value. And whenever you are converting hash map into the list, you should give like this map dot entry, then string comma integer, the data type. So this is also one kind of interview questions over there. So they might ask you, so they are giving one example, let hm dot put, and they're giving two names, and they are said how can you create convert hash map into the list. Then you need to write this particular code snippet. Then what we need to do, you need to sort the list. So as all of you know that in the collection framework, there is one inbuilt method called sort, collections.sort. In the sort method, you need to define the list we are capturing over there, along with the comparator. So I've already told you that comparator is basically the multiple sorting sequence. So here I have creating the comparator, new comparator. So you can either you can extend implement the comparator interface, or what you can do inside the collection the short method, you can mention the compare method. So so this is a very easiest way. Otherwise you have to create one more class over there, you have to implement the comparator interface, and then you need to call the comparator interface over there itself. So to reduce that code, I just keep all those method inside the collection the short method itself. So in the collection the short method, I am doing public int compare method. And if you see over there, what it will do, it will just compare by get value, o1 dot get value dot compare to o2 dot get value. So if you open the implementation for the compare to, you can see like that. So compare to is basically return the some compare method. If you open the compare method, you can see here. So it is basically taking two parameters. If x less than y, then it will give -1. If x double equals to y, then it will give 0, otherwise 1. Basically it will return the value as an integer. If the value is less than, then it will return -1. If the value is equal to, then it will return 0, otherwise 1. Now, so here if you see like that on this particular line o1 dot get value compared to o2 dot get value, what it will do? So whenever we are putting the hash map in the list, and then what it will check, it will get the value, that means 98. It will compare whether 98 is greater than 85 or not. If 98 is greater than 85, then it will return -1. Okay, then after that what it will do, we are just putting the hash map list into the hash map. Why? Because we want to get the value as a map itself, not the list value. So that's why we are creating a temporary hash map, and we are just putting whatever the value or whatever the key we are getting from there itself, we are putting over here. Okay, whatever the value we are getting from the list, we are just putting over here. Okay, so let's see, let's run this program and see what it will happen. Here you can see we have sorted the hash map by value: key, operating system, value 79, then 80, 85, 91, 95, 98. So this is the example of short hash map by using the value itself, not the key. So first what you need to do, you need to create the hash map. You need to convert the hash map from hash map to list by using list map.entry, and here you need to give hm.entry set. Okay, so hm.entry set returns a set view of the mapping content into this map. Okay, and then what we need to do, we need to sort the list using the comparator. And whenever you are sorting the list using the comparator, you need to call the compare method. So as I have told you, comparable is calling the compare to method, but comparator is calling the compare method, which is internally calls compare to method. So and here we are comparing based on the value o1 dot get value dot compare to o2 dot get value. And then after getting the sorted list, we put the list into the hash map. Why? Because we are getting the data as a map itself. So that's why here we are creating a temporary hash map, and we are putting the value aa dot get key comma aa dot get value. And then here we are just iterating the hash map, and we are getting the value itself. So this is one kind of example from the hash map by using comparator interface. So that's what I have already given here. In the next slide, here I am showing the Java 8 feature. In the Java 8 feature, you don't need to write all the codes in app. As I have told you, Java 8 is a less code, but performance is too fast. You have to give the less effort, but performance is very fast. So that's why we are using the Java 8 feature over there. So whenever you are using the Java 8 feature, you don't need to do all the steps. What you need to do, you need to create a hash map, a temporary hash map, and you need to get the as an entry set, and then you need to convert the hash map into stream. And whenever you are converting hash map into stream, there is one inbuilt intermediate operation is there, that is called sorted. So whenever you are doing dot sorted and i1 dot i2, and you should give here i1 dot get value dot compare to i2 dot get value. Whatever you are doing over there inside the compare method, that part you need to implement over here itself, but by using lambda expression. And then we are collecting the hash map by using collectors dot to map. So let's see an example in the Eclipse. So let me just give a small changes. So here, if I open the implementation, you can see I we don't need to convert hash map into list, then list into doing the collection dot sort, sorting the list, then again from list to sorted list to hash map. For these three steps, you can easily achieve, but for simple one line of code. What do we do? We are just temporarily creating one hash map dot entry set. So whenever you are doing hash map dot entry set, it is considering the value, map is converting map to set. Then we are converting that set to stream. Yeah, dot stream. Then we are doing the sorted function. Sorted is the intermediate operation for the stream operation, stream feature. And then we are putting a two value i1 i2, and we are doing the lambda expression. As we are comparing the value itself, that's why we are doing i1 dot get value dot compare to i2 dot get value. And then we are just collecting collectors dot to map, and then we are collecting the value as a get key value pair itself. So whenever you are running this program, You can see performance is 2 first, and it's a less coding also. You don't need to create the comparator, you don't need to convert the hash map into list again in list, shorted list to create a new hash map and all. Don't need to do anything. There's a simple stream method, simple sorted method will give you everything. That's the advantage of the Java 8. Let's see the some other important questions over there. So that's part is done. Now there are a couple of other interview Java 8 questions they might have asked during the interview session. So that is the count of duplicate value. So how to count the duplicate value in the array, a list of array. So what we can do, so if I go to this particular class itself, yes. So here you can see I have a list of array called 2 2 3 2 2 2 comma 2 comma 3 comma 6 7 8 9 2 5 7 everything. I want to count the duplicate value. How many 2 are there, how many 3 are there, how many 6 are there. So by using Java 8 feature, you can write a one liner code, it will give the as expected result. What you can do, first you can convert the array into the list equal to arrays dot add list. Then you can convert list into stream, and then there is one method called terminal operation called collect. And inside the collect, what you can do, collectors dot grouping by. What that grouping by is doing, this grouping by is nothing but the group by operation in SQL. So in SQL, whenever we are trying to get the employee group by department or the student group by department, select count start from a student group by department, then you will get EC 80 student, electrical 70 student, like that only we are doing the collectors dot grouping by. Inside that, what we are doing, we are writing function dot identity. What that does do, that function dot identity is basically iterating each and every element from the array itself. So whatever the elements are present, it will iterate each and every element, function dot identity. Then what we need to do, it will counting the value. So if I run this program, you can see here they are counting. So 2 is coming 3 times, 1 2 and 3. 3 is coming 1 times, 5 is coming 1 times, 6 is coming 1 times, 7 is coming 2 times, then 8 is coming 1 times. So that counting part is basically doing collectors dot counting method, and that iterating each and every element by doing function dot identity method. And as we are grouping by all the elements, so that's why it is giving the output like this only. So by using one liner code, you can easily achieve this kind of example. So let's see what's the other example. So they have might ask some tricky question like how to find duplicate letter from the word. So if you want to find duplicate character, so there is one more thing. Let's say we have an input called programming, and I want to find the duplicate letter. What we need to do here, first we are just taking one string input called programming, then we are converting in that string to characters. So that's why we are just writing input dot chars, then map to object. So whenever we are doing map to object, it is, and we are doing the value itself, character itself, because we want to convert from string to character. So convert each and every element as a character itself. Whatever the element is present in the input, string input, it is converting the character itself, like P R O G, single element is converting as a character itself. Now, what we need to do, we need to collect using the same function, whatever the function I have showed you earlier. Collectors dot grouping by and function dot identity. Why I am writing the function dot identity? Because I want to find the duplicate characters from the word itself. So that's why we want to, after converting the particular string into the character, we want to iterate each and every character. To iterating each and every character, we have to use function dot identity, and then collectors dot counting. Then what we need to do, after doing that one, we need to convert the stream, and then we are doing the filtering. Why? We are only trying to get the duplicate value. So duplicate value means we are doing here entry dot get value greater than 1, means whoever is having the value greater than 1, whoever having the counting greater than 1, that value we are should ca- capture over there itself. So that's why you can see here we are collecting the map dot entry set get key and get value, whatever the value we are giving greater than 1. So let's say here we are getting p is 1, so that's why p is not coming, because the filter is basically entry dot get value greater than 1, so that's why p is not coming. Then r is coming 2, because r is having here and here also. So that's why it is greater than 1, so it's satisfied a condition, and that's why you are showing like that duplicate character r equal to 2, g equal to 2, m equal to 2. So what is the procedure? Again I am repeating. First take the string, then convert the string into the character itself, like input dot chars, and then map to object, converting each and every character into the character. Then we are doing the grouping by function using the collect operation is the collectors dot grouping by, and inside that we are just doing function dot identity. Why? Because function dot identity is iterating each and every character, and we are just counting how many characters are present for the particular characters. Then we are just converting into a stream, and then we do the basic stuffs, then adding one filter, and the filter criteria should be that entry dot get value should be greater than 1. Then we are collecting the value as a hash map itself. So and also there are a couple of other questions are there, how to concat to list, how to find out the duplicate word from sentence. So they might have some easy question also. Now, there are a couple of basic questions which may they might have asked for the freshers or 2 to 4 years experience. That is, what is functional interface, what is MDAL expression, what is optional class, why we are using optional class. When one of the important question they used to ask the interviewer during the interview session, that is, what is the difference between map and filter function. So all of you know that this is two important intermediate operation for the Java 8 feature, so that they have some couple of differences. So the filter function is basically doing the validation or prediction any condition, whatever the condition you are giving over there. Like say you are just trying to start with capital letter, or starts with s, or starts with o, or you are giving any other condition over there. That time we should use the filter function. Basically filter function is returning the boolean value. So whenever you are keeping any condition inside the filter function, first it will check whether the value or whether the filter is satisfied or not. If it is satisfied, then it will show as a true, boolean value show as a true, otherwise it will just ignore. In the meantime, the map function is basically consisting of some feature into the particular function itself. Let's say I have in that employee table I have employee id, employee name, employee address, city, designation, and all those stuffs. I want to get only employee id. What we need to do, you can't able to apply the filter, but you can do using the map function. So in the map function, if you give e, then lambda expression e dot get id, and then we just collectors dot to list. Then whenever you are running that API, or whenever you are running the UI, then only the employee name or id, whatever you are giving in the inside the map function, that part only populating over there during the execution. So this is the basic difference between map or filter function. So I hope you have already understood how the hash map we can sort by using value, how we can sort hash map by using key, what are the basic questions and the Java 8 feature they might have asked, what are the intermediate questions they might have asked during the Java 8 features. So all I have trying to cover up in that particular session itself. In next day I will come up with some other important interview topic on some Spring Boot feature. So please like the video, subscribe the video, and share the channel as much as possible, and subscribe Soudav's Daddy. Goodbye. Take care.